AFC Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest, the biggest game in the Championship this season, possibly the biggest game in the Championship over the last few seasons. Welcome to my AFC Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest preview and prediction, guys. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and most importantly, get your comments and predictions down below for this one, because this game is literally like a Championship playoff final. It is incomprehensible how big a game this is. I'm going to run you through their form, the players, what's to look out for, and my prediction as well. Wow, this game is huge. If you're a Forest or Bournemouth fan, I'm fascinated to see what you have to say. So like I say, get down in the comments and let's get you the table up. Now, Bournemouth play Forest. It's not the final game of the season, it's the penultimate game of the season. Now, this game was meant to be played a few months ago, and annoyingly for the Forest fans, it got called off just a few hours before kick-off. I felt so bad for those Forest fans that made that journey down to the South Coast. Let's hope on their second time down, the game doesn't get called off, and more importantly for them, they win. Now, looking at the table, it's in Bournemouth's hands. Like I say, it's the penultimate game. This might not decide anything just yet, but it would if Bournemouth win. If Bournemouth win, they're up. They're in a position that they know if they win this game, they'd extend the gap to 6 points and it'd be over. We'd have nothing to play for on the final day. Now, what's the other alternatives? A draw. A draw would mean it's still in Bournemouth's hands, but it would go to the final day. Now, Bournemouth have to play Millwall on that final day. Forest have to play Hull City away. It is worth pointing out, Hull City not in the best form. They did lose 5-0 at the weekend. They've been a bit inconsistent, and Millwall still have the playoffs to play for. So you could say Bournemouth's game is slightly trickier, although they're at home on the final day and Forest are away. So Bournemouth have 2 home games to go. Forest have 2 away games. Now, the other alternative is a Forest win. Now, what's so important about some of these big results Forest have been picking up is they've swung the goal difference into their favour. Now, if they win, they'd only be ahead of Bournemouth on goal difference, but it does mean if they were to at least match Bournemouth's result on the final day, they would be going up. So Forest win this, they technically have second in their hands going into that final day. And you'd imagine the confidence from a win like this going into that Hull game, surely they wouldn't slip up. Look, the Championship is crazy. The possibilities are that Forest could win this game, but then go and screw it up against Hull. I don't think that's going to happen. I'll give you my prediction for this game as the video goes on, but let's look at their recent results coming into this. Let's start with AFC Bournemouth's April. Now, AFC Bournemouth started with a home game against Bristol City. They won that game 3-2, so a big win. Every 3 points is crucial. Not the most convincing result. Bristol City a little bit inconsistent, but AFC Bournemouth don't care. 3 points is 3 points. They followed that up with a 2-0 defeat at West Bromwich Albion. At the time, West Brom still had a chance of making the top 6. Obviously, they haven't gone on to do so, but a pretty damaging result for AFC Bournemouth to lose there. The following game was a 0-0 draw away at Sheffield United. Now, that wasn't a bad point at the time. That draw was okay. Sheffield United battling for top 6. They're obviously in the top 6. And I think in that game, Sheffield United did have some decent moments. Obviously, Bournemouth could have won that game if it was a draw, but I'm sure they walked away thinking, there's worse results than that. After that, they followed it up with another 0-0 draw. Now, this was against Middlesbrough, another team chasing down 6th place. They're in 7th. So you put the 2 results together, they're not bad draws, but Bournemouth knew that Forest were charging them down. After that, it was an incredible 3-0 win away at my team Coventry. Now, AFC Bournemouth in that game were just very, very clinical. We're going to go through the players they've got in their armoury, but Dominic Solanke, honestly, he only needs 1 chance to get 1 goal. That's the risk for Forest coming into this game, but Forest have obviously got good attackers themselves. That win for Bournemouth was a statement win. It was a big, big win on the same weekend where Forest had lost to Luton. Now, after that was the Fulham game. They drew that game 1-1. Obviously, Scott Parker against his former side. They rescued that with a late goal. We'll mention how Bournemouth have got some late goals as we go through this and how big they could be. That was a big point for AFC Bournemouth. It kind of has kept them in the top 2, all these results, but like I say, when you draw and lose and Forest win, the gap will shut. After that, it was another draw, this time away at Swansea. Once again, a late goal, this time drawing 3-3 after being 3-0 down. Incredible performance from Bournemouth. I did watch that game. I've got to say some of the substitutions were inspired. It wasn't the best 70 minutes or so from Bournemouth for the first sort of 2/3 of that game, but they did rescue a draw, and once again taking the chances when they came their way. Kiefer Moore, he really came back to haunt Swansea in that game. A big 3-3 draw. Once again, it was on the same night Forest won. They won away at Fulham. We'll come on to that result in a minute, but once again, that late goal against Fulham, that late goal against Swansea, they could be crucial if Bournemouth do it by a point or two. We'll wait and see. It really could be that close this season. After that, they did win 3-0 away at Blackburn. Now, that is a really big result coming into this one. They wanted a confidence boost coming into this Forest game because everyone knows Forest confidence is sky high right now, and Bournemouth's has been wobbling. That result was incredible. Forest also won on the same day, so not great that Forest won for Bournemouth's sake, but at least they did their bit. A great win away at Blackburn, who've been a bit inconsistent, but they did beat Preston 4-1 going into that game. So that result kept Bournemouth in command of second place. Now let's come on to Forest's April. If we want to talk about Forest form in general, honestly, over the last few months, if you go back to when Cooper came in, it's been incredible, honestly. I think Forest fans are very aggrieved that Cooper hasn't got manager of the season in the Championship. He's done an incredible job. Let's just focus on their April, the results coming into this. They started with a 4-1 win away at Blackpool. Honestly, they were ruthless in that game, took their chances at a Blackpool side that have been pretty good. So really decent result there. They followed that up with a result against my team, Coventry. They won that game 2-0. I went to the City Ground and you could tell things were really bouncing, honestly. Some of the results they picked up at the City Ground, might I add, Leicester, Arsenal, Huddersfield, all in that FA Cup run, as well as some of these league results, just incredible. After that was a 2-0 win against Birmingham City this time, beating another West Midlands side. And like I say, winning these games fairly comfortably, 2-0, 3-0, adding more goals to that goal difference as well. So a very good result. And I think after that week where they'd beaten Blackpool, Coventry and Birmingham, I was thinking Forest are definitely in this. I have kept my eye on Forest in this top two race for quite a while now, and it's starting to come to fruition. Now, after that was a 1-0 defeat away at Luton. Now, that Luton result was a setback. Forest a little bit aggrieved that they didn't get anything from that game. It was quite a tight game. There's a couple of decisions which Forest weren't too happy about. And like I say, when you're the team chasing, honestly, Forest have been in great form, but every result you don't win can be so unforgiving. And yeah, not the best result. Although you've got to credit Luton for what they've done this season. They're obviously in the top six. Now, after that was the 4-0 home win against West Bromwich Albion, where they absolutely went to town on them. West Brom a little bit aggrieved about one or two decisions, but you cannot deny Forest were much the better team. That Colback goal, honestly, I'm one of them that thinks he meant that. I know there's a lot of people that don't, but I just think the way he hit that, surely it can't have been a cross. Unbelievable regardless. Another big win to bolster their goal difference and their confidence. They followed that with a couple of 1-0 wins. Now, the first one away at Peterborough, you cannot underestimate how big that 1-0 away win at Peterborough was. Peterborough were battling for survival. I think their fate was virtually sealed, but they were still scrapping. So a big win there. And then possibly the biggest win of them all, backs to the wall performance against Fulham. Fulham have been waiting to be champions for a few weeks now, and Forest went there and spoilt the party. Great win there, 1-0. A bit of a mix-up for the goal, but who cares when you're Forest? A win is a win, and they were closing the gap. Like I say, the same night, Bournemouth drew with Swansea. After that was their most recent win against Swansea, 5-1. It was ridiculous. They absolutely destroyed them. I remember seeing 1-1 at half-time and thinking, do you know what? Swansea making a fist of it. Steve Cooper slightly struggling against his former side, but no, looking back on the highlights and the stats and everything, Forest were just a better team. And God, I think they had 27 shots, 17 on target, worthy of the win. And that goal difference went flying up, especially when Bournemouth had beat Blackburn 3-0 as well. So Forest keeping the pace. And that leads right up to this game. So before I do my prediction, let's look at the danger men. Obviously, AFC Bournemouth, we know Dom Solanke. They've got Billing. He got a brace against Blackburn. Anthony, Cook, Lerma, Christie. And I wonder if Kiefer Moore might make an appearance after his brace against Swansea. Nottingham Forest, meanwhile, have Brennan Johnson, Spence, Zinkernagel, Garner, Yates. You can go on about the quality. I quite like Samba in goal, actually. Obviously, they've been hit with a couple of injuries. One of the big ones being Keenan Davis. But Surridge has stepped up brilliantly. I've always liked Surridge. I remember when he played, I think it was a loan spell, he had at Yeovil, and he's been to Stoke, he's been to a few clubs. Surridge is such a good player. He got a hat-trick against Swansea, so a perfect shoe-in for Keenan Davis. Like I say, him and Brennan Johnson going forward, you're guaranteed goals. So they're the danger men. I better give you my prediction. I think there could be some late drama in this, and I think it'll be a close game. Forest have certainly been in better form. I think Bournemouth will be slightly happier it's at home. They've been slightly better at home recently than away. Not that it's massively irrelevant, but I will mention Forest did lose 2-1 to AFC Bournemouth in August. Now, the reason I'll say that's not massively irrelevant is obviously a great win for Bournemouth, but Forest weren't exactly Forest then, were they? They didn't have Cooper then. That was when they were run by Houghton and things were a mess. So I don't think that can play too much into this one. I'm actually going to say it'll be 2-1 again to the away team. So I'm going to say Forest win this game 2-1. The way I see this panning out is Forest and Bournemouth have both got lots of attacking quality. They're both quite good defensively. I think they will both go for this, but I can see Forest flying out the tracks quicker. I could see Forest racing into a 2-goal lead, maybe Bournemouth pulling one back quite late on and giving it a battle, but I think it will finish AFC Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Now that would be amazing. The Forest fans would be going crazy. Obviously, like I say though, it isn't promotion wrapped up and they still have that banana skin of Hull City to come. But you look at Forest this season, they're above banana skins, aren't they? If they win this Bournemouth game, their confidence should be high enough, and I think they really should beat Hull. But like I say, it wouldn't be job done yet. This week is going to be crucial. Guys, make sure to join me for my live stream on Tuesday. It's going to be absolute carnage as we watch Bournemouth play Nottingham Forest. Like I say, if you're a Bournemouth or Forest fan, get your predictions down below. Let me know if you disagree with mine. That's absolutely fine. Give me your thoughts. Anything I've missed out, obviously I don't know your clubs as well as you do, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm a Championship fan and I really am excited. Will it be AFC Bournemouth returning to the Premier League before those parachute payments run out? Remember how much they spent in January? They really need it to go right. Or will it be Nottingham Forest returning to the top flight for the first time since 1999? They've been out of the top flight for so long, but they are a big club and you've got to say they deserve to be there. Honestly, guys, this game is going to be mental. AFC Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. It'll be upon us soon. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.